Good morning, class 12th. Welcome you all again in Classroom Notes by Rekha Jain. And today we are going to study Deep Water by William Douglas. In the beginning, let me introduce you about the author and the chapter a bit. Author William Orville Douglas was an American jurist and politician who served as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of US. This is an excerpt from the author's biographical account of his childhood misadventure. Here he developed water phobia, which was indelibly etched in his mind for years. Let's have a look over a few words like phobia. Here means extreme fear, and indelibly etched means permanently imprinted, which can never be deleted out of some place. Later, when he realized that became a hurdle in fulfilling his passion of water sports, he overcame it by the dint of his determination. And this is the theme of the chapter also. So here what happens with Douglas, let's see. Douglas decided to learn swimming when he was 10 or 11 years old. Mother was against learning in Yakima River because it was treacherous. Treacherous here means uncertain. It means that one cannot know from where it was deep or from where it was shallow. So there was always the fear of drowning. That is why YMCA pool was selected, because it offered the best opportunity to go ahead in his passion. So he went to the pool with a pair of wings. In the beginning, when he went there, he felt embarrassed as his legs were visible and he was very thin. Moreover, he had developed an aversion for water when he was just 3 to 4 years old. What happened then? When once he went to California beach with his father, just then a wave knocked him down. That means struck him down because he was very small and swept over him. He was scared beyond limit, although his father laughed upon this expression of the narrator. Now, due to this unpleasant expression and experience, he just stood at the pool trying to ape others when he went learning to swim. Ape here means copy, so that he would feel comfortable in 2 or 3 days by observing others. But before that, an unfortunate incident happened. One day, what happened? One day, when he went all alone and waited for others to join, just then a bruiser, that means a very tough, rough and tough fellow, a fine specimen of good physique, that means like muscles are visible, waving muscles are visible. He threw him into the pool, and because author hadn't learned swimming yet, he started going down and down. Although he was scared badly, yet not too much that he became out of his wits. Here means out of his senses. That means his mind was still working. So he made a plan, and the plan was the moment he would touch the bottom of the pool, he would summon his strength and jump like a cork of a bottle. This strategy worked well, but because he hadn't anything to grasp, there was nothing to take the support, and moreover he was in the middle of the pool also. So he started drowning again, you can see in the pic also, but again he opted for the same strategy. Again he failed to come at the shore, and he started flailing his legs and hands, but without any use, and this happened thrice. During this time he was so scared that water looked like a yellowish tinge, means touch, and he became very much exhausted. His heart started throbbing, his legs became stiff. Dear students, when you are in very adverse situation or condition, same happens with you, and time became very long. Those 9 feet became 90 feet for him, and all his efforts were turning futile, that means useless. So he surrendered before death and closed the eyes. Now he forgot everything. That means he went into oblivion. That means he forgot everything. And just accepted the death. That was the blissful moment for him, as if he was in his mother's lap, and he became unconscious. After that, he didn't remember anything. Later, he found himself by the side of the pool, and the same bulky, the same bruiser was apologizing. That means he was feeling sorry. This was the worst experience, as he was confined to bed. He was stuck to bed for many days, and as and when he tried to get up, his legs would paralyze. And when he tried to go near water, the same fear returned, and this was how that aversion of water converted to phobia. And this impact was so scary that he could not enjoy the water sports. Dear students, because he had a penchant, he had a passion for water sports. That is why by the dint of his determination, he decided to do something, and that something was he made a plan, because he had to pursue water sports like canoeing, fishing, rafting, swimming and boating. Canoe here means a light and flat bottom boat. So in October, he had an instructor so that he could learn swimming. Now with his help, he practiced 5 days a week, an hour, 5 hours each day. An hour each day, 5 days a week. Now what did the instructor do? Just note it down, because I have highlighted that in blue color. This is the most important part of the chapter. This is the strategy by the instructor. A belt was put around the author, and to the belt was a rope attached, which the rope went to the pulley, and that pulley was running over an overhead cable, so that it can move to and fro. Now the instructor held one end of the rope and thus released the author in the pool. As and when fear returned to him, instructor pulled him out. Now it took 3 months for the author to get out of that tension. Then he taught him to put his face under water and then exhale, to raise the nose and then inhale, and this practice was repeated 100 times. Next step was to command over his legs by kicking them, because legs had developed a tendency to get stiff inside the water, and this was how, piece by piece, that means step by step, a swimmer was built out of Douglas. Now still, instructor had finished his task, but author was not sure whether he would be able to swim alone. So in order to confirm, he went alone to the pool and started. Tiny vestiges of fear, that means small pieces of fear, were still in him, but he removed them by challenging them. And this was how he continued until July. Still he was not satisfied. And next part I have highlighted in green color. This is also very important. In order to remove the remnants of fear, he went alone to the Lake Wentworth, dived off a dock at Riggs Island, swam up to Stamp-Act Island, and tested different strokes like breast stroke, side stroke, back stroke, and he even put his face under water, saw the bottomless water. Fear, but in miniature, returned to him. That means very in small size, and he tackled it, he controlled it. Still he was not satisfied. In order to gain more confidence, from Teton to Conrad Meadows up to Conrad Creek Trail to Mead Glacier, he swam and kept there in high meadows by the warm lake. And next morning, when he covered this distance confidently, he became jubilant. He was filled with joy, and he copied Duke open and shouted loudly, as loud as he could. Now, through this experience, author wants to tell that those who have experienced the near death and conquered that fear, they can here appreciate what they can appreciate, that there is peace in death. That means if we fear from the fear of death, then we will be mentally disturbed, because fear of death invites terror only. So he supports the statement by Roosevelt, all we have to fear is fear itself. That means fear should not be allowed to come near us. Only then we will get successful in our lives. So dear students, this is all in today's video. Hope you must have understood, and we'll meet again in the next video. Till then, bye bye.